Welcome everyone, welcome all to the love and light that is Unity of Lawrence. Grateful that you're all here with us today. Very excited to be here. As you know, we at Unity begin everything with prayer. Let us take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us and listen to this prayer. We celebrate the divine source that lives and breathes within us. We accept ourselves without judgment and accept each other. We acknowledge our place in the environment and care for our sacred mother. We carry light, share peace, and live in joy and thanksgiving. And so it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you one-on-one. If there is anything in your heart to be held in prayer, we invite you to see a chaplain following today's service at the front of the sanctuary. Now please join us join Holly singing "Thank You for This Day." Thank you for this day, Spirit.
Good morning, everybody. Why don't we stand up together? I'm just going to do some drumming, and we're going to sing this simple melody together. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. And now we're going to say thank you for my friends, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Now you get a chance to say hello. We'll greet each other safely with a bow and elbow bump. You can always come up and wave to the audience at home. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. We're going to say thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you, Holly. And now let's repeat our unity intentions. Please affirm with me Unity's founding principle. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our Unity of Lawrence vision statement. Together, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And finally, our Unity of Lawrence mission statement. Together, we are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And now, please welcome our special music guest, Harmony Lovell.
Good morning. Today we're going on a journey. This consciousness exists within my mind, and I can perceive my experience through this life. For some reason I chose to be here for this time. So all of the sadness I feed to you inside, 'cause we all find our own way back to the place that we start, and we all find our own way back to our hearts. So all situations offer a chance to grow, and all that I meet I was meant to see on the road. It's like I planned it myself, 'cause how else could I have known? So even the hard times, they have so much to show, and we all find our own way back to the place that we start. We all find our own way back to our hearts. So the infinite creature devours itself through time, returning back now, the cycle that breathes new life. New life that feeds with experience of depth, intelligence of the one eternal breath. 'Cause we all find our own way back to the place that we start, and we all find our own way back to our hearts. So this consciousness that exists within my mind, and I can perceive my experience through this life. For some reason I chose to be here for this time. And all of this gladness, I feed it to you with my light.
Thank you, Harmony. Jay Pryor is a speaker, author, and executive coach from Lawrence, Kansas, with over 15 years' experience in helping humans access their most authentic power. Jay's signature process and book, Lean Inside, uses mindfulness and neuroscience to create a powerful understanding of the human response and emotional intelligence required to be successful, connected, and happy in the world. Welcome, Jay.
It's super funny to have your brother read your bio. That's so funny, because he could just say, here's my little sibling. So hi, everybody. Well, it's great to be with you today. My name is Jay Pryor, and I'm a lay member of this congregation, and it is my distinct pleasure to be here with you today to share this message of self-compassion. So when I spoke here a couple months ago, I did a talk on self-compassion, and it was a practice that I've been doing for a couple of years, and I've been really rigorous about it, or as rigorous as I can be about things like this. I've been in practice for a long time on this, and so I really want to kind of correct the moniker, because it's really not part two, because I want to start over. And I have, the good news is, and thanks to Kathy and Unity, that I've been asked to speak here every other month for the next year. So I decided that, first of all, every time I come to Unity, what I talk about is Unity's second principle, right? So, you know, we always come in here and affirm that there is only one presence and one power in the universe, and that's God, the source of all good, right? And some people are squicked out by that word God, so we could just say there's one power and one presence in the world, the source of all good, right? We don't even have to say the word God if you don't want to, but that's what we affirm every time we come in here. And then the second principle is, and that includes me, right? So if this presence is everywhere, that includes right here through me. And yet, as humans, we have a tendency to feel separate and take ourselves out from that. And so our whole practice as truth students is really getting to that point where we can not have that separation, where we know ourselves as our true nature, which is that divine source. So there's a couple of things that I want to share, and the first thing is that I want to give you a little bit of background, because without it, some of this just doesn't, it lends me less cred. So first of all, I've been studying New Thought, and I've been studying people since I was 18 years old. I'm a transgender human. I was born female. I walked in the world in woman's skin for 35 years. And then I took testosterone and was on testosterone for 18 years and walked around as what I call an undercover white guy. And because I never identified as a man, ever. I was always a genderqueer. We just didn't have those words then. Now the word non-binary exists. So I went off testosterone because that's where I fit always. And I'm a non-binary human. So, number one, I want to say that I started out at the age of 18 when I was coming out as a young lesbian and was a suicidal mess. I landed myself in a psychiatric unit, and that for me was the beginning of studying human beings and the love of human beings. Like, I love human beings. And I really discovered that for myself at the tender age of 18. And at the time, because I had been drinking all the way through high school, I thought I was an alcoholic. So when I got out of the psychiatric unit, I came to Lawrence, and I went right into AA. So Alcoholics Anonymous was a really strong personal spiritual foundation for me. The 12 steps, I still use them. I still, know them. I'm one of those people that when I like something or I get interested in it, I can become a zealot. So, and I know this about myself, right? So I was a big book thumper. Like, I still have pages of the big book memorized, right? So, I mean, I really got into it, right? So, my point, though, is that, turns out I'm not an alcoholic. Look, turns out once I came out of the closet, I didn't have anything to drink over. Alcohol's not an issue. Now, when you look up codependent Al-Anon, there's my picture right there. So I'm not saying I don't use the 12 steps, but it turns out I'm not. But my first sponsor, one of my first sponsors in AA was Sharon Dwyer, and Sharon Dwyer's been therefore a mentor of mine since I was 18 years old, right? So my point is that everything that I share with you today, I have learned from people here, right, or from the study that I've done. So, and it started way back when I was 18 years old, right? So, I wanted to give you that knowledge because all that whole time then I'm studying and learning about people. Then in 2002, I got introduced to Abraham. When I quote Abraham, what I'm speaking or referring to is an entity that is channeled. The channel name is Abraham, but it comes through a woman by the name of Esther Hicks. And I started studying Esther Hicks and Abraham in 2002. So I've been doing this for a while, is my point. And I've been working on it a lot, right? So the other thing to know about me is that while I was doing that whole, coming out and dealing with myself, I really hated my own guts. Like, I just thought something was super wrong with me, right? So I hated my own guts. And I would really say that to myself. And I would call myself names and tell myself I was a worthless piece of, right? So I have this, I wanted you to get where I come from around this. So I think it's important to note, right? So then also on top of that, because I'm a transgender person, I would say that I'm an expert in body image, right? And that's just through my own experience. So if you know anything about transgender humans, body dysphoria is part of the deal. It just comes with the package. So when I was a young girl and I started to develop breasts, my breasts, I was what we call dysphoric. Like, they don't belong here. These should not have been here, right? So until I had a double mastectomy at the age of 36, I had body stuff. And I thought that when I went on testosterone, that my body image stuff would go away. But turns out I just became someone who people thought was a dude, and I still had body image stuff. And it was still there. And so I thought that would make it go away, but it didn't. And turns out that most of my body image stuff is about being classically trained female. So if you're classically trained female, you get talked to about your body from the time you're a baby, right? I mean, little girls get their bodies commented on all of their lives. And actually all humans do, but really women-trained people have a lot to deal with around their bodies. So I give you all that background because I want you to note where I'm coming from. Because the results that I've had from my practice of self-compassion have been unprecedented, right? And they're not results that you can, like, there's no big number. Like, I hit a goal of $10,000 or something. It's a result that is a tangible result in my life in that I love myself and I love my body. What? I love myself and I love my body. And for the first time in my life, there's no noise about my body. No noise. And for the first time in my marriage, and I've always had a really great marriage, just so you know, my relationship with my wife is the one thing in my life that's always working, right? It's always been working. We've been together for 20 years, and we're madly in love, and we're super into each other, right? But let me tell you, how being okay and stop making up stories about what she's thinking about my body has changed, right? Has up-leveled our intimacy. Up-leveled in a huge way. Because I'm no longer paranoid or nervous or concerned or thinking she's thinking things about my body. And it's a freedom that I've never had before in my life. So I want to give you all that background. And I want to give you all that background, and that's the background. And then I'm going to do some different stuff today, all right? I'm going to ask you we're going to do a little bit of different stuff because the talk hasn't even really started. That's all background. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you to, if you're able, stand up. And then what I'd like you to do is act like a dog that just came out of the lake, right? What does a dog do when they just come out of the lake? Right? And if you, the more you can shake it off, the better. Okay? Shake it off. Okay? Shake it off. And then if you're able, I'd like you to reach down and start tapping on the backs of your legs like this. Tap, tap, tap as far as you can, all the way up your back side, and then go back down your front side. Tap, 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 everywhere you can. Pat, pat, pat. I want you to pat your kidneys back here. Back here. Yeah. And then come up here and tap your chest. Right? Then I want you to go out here and tap your arms. Up here. Really get your shoulder blades. Right here is a little tap. Put your fingers like this and just tap them on your shoulder blades. Right? Just like this. Tap them on your shoulder blades here. And then we're going to go up to your head. Top of your head. Tap, 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 tap. And open all our energy. Get under your chin. There you go. All right. Now I'm going to invite you to sit back down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you into a little bit of a meditative place. I'm going to start our meditation first. Then I'm going to do some talk. Harmony's going to come up, get you back into your heart, and then I'm going to come back and do a little more meditation. So, first thing I want you to do, if you're comfortable, is just notice your breath. Just pay attention to your breath. I don't want you to take a deep breath or anything. I just notice your breath. And then just tune in and listen to my voice, and if you're comfortable, close your eyes. We're going to I want you to imagine coming out of your feet some vines or cables, whatever you want to call them, busting down through this building, down through the basement of this building, through the foundation of this building, down into the rock and dirt, down, 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 collecting twigs, and you can see silt and water, vines, maybe even bugs. You go down, 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 down to the heart of the mother. The center of the earth, the core of the earth. And then I want you to anchor those cables or vines to the center of the earth in some way in your mind. You can either wrap your cables around the center of the mother, you can anchor it, your choice. I just want you to be anchored. Then I want you to feel that good earth energy coming up through those vines, coming up, coming back through the rock and the sediment and all the silt, busting back up through this building, through the foundation, through the basement, back up right to you. I want you to feel that good earth energy between your toes. Earthy, grounded, good energy. Feel that coming up your ankles and up to your calves and up over your knees. Feel that good grounding earth energy come up over your thighs and your pelvis. Feel it right up to your solar plexus. And now you are planted. Just like a plant, you're just planted and you're grounded. I want you to say to yourself, I belong here. I belong here. And I want you to take your focus up to your crown chakra. I want you to imagine light. That light coming from the source of all creation, the source of all good. I like to call it nothing. It comes into the crown chakra and down, starts to melt over your face. It feels like sunshine when you step out of the shade. light hit your heart chakra, I want you to throw your heart open like you're throwing shutters open. As much heart open energy in life would be. And then if you're comfortable and you want to open your eyes and come back and be here with me, but you're also welcome to just listen to me from this spot. Because my point here is I want your heart open. Because this conversation I'm about to have with you is painful for some of you. So I want you to be gentle with your heart. When I started to do this talk, I'm somebody who rehearses talks in my head for months. As soon as Kathy and I booked this talk, I've been working on this one. One of the things that I was starting to talk about in this talk that I was going to share with you is that my nature is a bit salty. I've got it's the way I think of myself, and my friends tease about that we're a little salty. And as I was thinking about this, I realized how much crap that is. Because I know, and I have this knowing, that my true nature is love. But as I was doing this talk, and I was thinking, so I'm a little bit salty and right? And then I heard that. And I went into Jessica and I said, you know what? Turns out my true nature is love. Who knew? Who knew? That salty is my personality, right? I can be a little salty. And I'm like to have fun. My personality, your personality, and every other way that you are. In my opinion, and I'm inviting you to consider this premise, that your personality, the way you be, the way you are, everything about you, every way you wired yourself up was for your safety. It was for your safety. And maybe it was just being safe from somebody paying attention to you because it was too much. Maybe it was being safe from words of shame. One of my biggest things when I was a kid is oversensitive. Crybaby and oversensitive were some of the first things I remember being told that I was. I am a crybaby. I'm super crybaby. And I'm way oversensitive. But not oversensitive. I'm way tuned in to other people. Right? So when I was little, I did everything I could to not be oversensitive. And so I got salty. Right? And I got tough. And, I beat up every kid that came, I was just tough. That was how I survived being oversensitive, right? All of you survived things like that. All of you have these things, these perceptions that we put on ourselves our whole lives. And I'm inviting you to accept the premise that you did that for your safety. And that all of it was about safety. I call it the safety rule. We wired ourselves up to be safe. Now, if you can accept that premise, and I just show of hands, how many of you get that? Like, if you just get that, it makes sense. Okay. So for those of you that can get that, if you can get that you wired yourself up to be safe, how can you not have compassion for yourself? How can you not? If you wired yourself up to be safe, and that's everything you do is for your own safety, how can we not have compassion for ourselves? So today I want to start this conversation that I'm just going to keep talking about this all this next year. And my book is called Lean Inside. It's out there. It's very 2013, but it's still a good book. The audio book is 2015, and I would like to give that to you as a gift for free if you don't already have my audio book. There's little things out there that essentially if you text the word free audiobook, we'll send you a link. You go act like you're going to buy the book. In blue letters it says have a coupon. You put in the word free audiobook, you get it for free. But So that was my first book. I say first book because it seems like I've got another one coming. And it's called The Safety Rule. And so how I wrote my first book and how I write books and things like that, I write anything is I talk them. And so we're going to be recording these talks, and my intention is to write a new book. And, well, I can't promise that it's going to come out before 2024 because I can't even get my head around that. But if it comes out, then I'll give half the proceeds to Unity since we talked the book here. So that's my intention. But the whole thing is about this idea, and that's all I want for you today, is to deepen this idea that everything about you is for your safety, so can you be compassionate? And invite you to take on a new level of compassion. Because here's what happened to me. 2019 happened, right? And 2020 came in, and I was in good space. And I was all booked out. I was in a new mood. I was going to be speaking. 2020 happened. Holy moly. We all shut down, right? I gained and lost 25 to 30 pounds in the last year and a half, or last 2 years. You didn't see me when I was at my heaviest weight because we were all on Zoom and nobody paid attention. But all I did in 2020 was just not make myself wrong. That was it. And for me, that's what I'm inviting you to do, is have your first step. And when I talk about baby steps, and I mean like this baby tiny little steps, but if you could just give up making yourself wrong for all of it, right? Because right now you make yourself wrong for everything, right? All the time, no matter what. It's like if you don't show up the right way, you make yourself wrong. If you're not as kind as you should be, you make yourself wrong. If you make yourself wrong all the time. So during 2020, my first baby step, and I'd been working on this for a long time, not making myself wrong, but I just let myself do whatever I wanted, and I didn't make myself wrong. And at the time, it was all under the guise of non-resistance and how I wanted to give up resistance. But what I started to get was, I'm giving myself a whole new level of compassion here. And in my first book, I talk about the first step is to embrace this as a journey, right? And that's what I'm asking you to do about self-compassion, about this journey. You have to embrace it as a journey because you're going to fall off the horse, right? You're not going to be good at this every day. You're not going to be good at it right away. So you got to embrace it as a journey, like it's the rest of your life, right? And so the first step is to embrace it as a journey. The second step in my book is to, part of that, embracing it as a journey, is that to practice constant forgiveness, right? And that constant forgiveness is about giving up making yourself wrong. So that was my first baby step, was like, I just ate whatever I wanted and I didn't make myself wrong. I baked and I ate. 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 And I knew that if I didn't make it wrong, that I would get sick of it. If I didn't resist it, that it wouldn't be, it's not what I wanted for my life. It's not what you want for your lives. It's not what I wanted for my life. But it was what it was. And so I just didn't make myself wrong. And by not making myself wrong, then I started to pivot, and then pretty soon I started talking sweet to me. I started talking sweet to me. And then next thing you know, I'm being able to actually say I love you to myself and mean it. Which I've had exercise in the past where people are like, look in the mirror. I mean, I think my sponsor told me to do that when I was 18. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. And I'd go, look in the mirror and say, I love you. It was all BS. It was all BS. I mean, I couldn't do it. Not really mean it. All right, now I pass myself in the mirror, I'm like, I love you. It's ridiculous. It's almost embarrassing. And it's so cheesy, it's hard for me, right? Because that's the thing, the cheese, and right? So it's not easy. And let me tell you, the results are unbelievable. They're exponentially good. And one of them is this whole new world of love for myself and my body image. The other one is my relationship with my child that is, it's transformed. And I'm being able to be love and be that love in the face of lots of stuff and just continue to be that love. And it's not easy. So what I want for you is to start on this journey of self-compassion as a spiritual practice, which once again, I got from Sharon Dwight. All right? Because I came here to talk last time, and I was talking about self-compassion, and Sharon had done a talk on self-compassion. We both quoted Kristen Neff, who is doing research on self-compassion, to prove that people who can be self-compassionate compassionate with themselves actually produce better results than people who are mean to themselves. She's got all this research at self-compassion.org. So I sit down next to Sharon, and she says, I said about self-compassion, she says, that's my new spiritual practice. I'm like, yes, that's my new spiritual practice. I want it to be everybody's new spiritual practice, because I have been working on this stuff, y'all, for eons, right? And I've been reading and practicing and studying this stuff forever. And we have all the metaphysicians that we could ever need, and they tell us all the things that we need to know, but none of them have dialed in self-compassion like this in my world. Like, I'm not, and I've been reading and studying this stuff for a long time. And they always tell us that we have to clean out, and it's always the first step. I mean, Charles Fillmore, all of them, they tell us the first step is to clean our minds out, to clean space out. But the biggest thing we have to clean ourselves out of is our own disdain, our own self-loathing and self-judging. It's just ridiculous, and it's the one thing that keeps us from really being able to access our true self. Your true nature is love. Your true nature is love. So all I'm asking you to do for this time is to, however you are, wherever you are, with your own ability to accept yourself and love yourself, I'm asking you to up your game. This much. Like this much. And I'm going to come back in a month and a half, but I'm going to ask you, like, how's it going? Have you been able to up your game even a little bit? But let me tell you what it takes, and this is part of the piece, and this is where we know this. It takes mindfulness. It takes a new level of mindfulness, because you can't stop yourself from abusing yourself if you don't know you're abusing yourself. And for some of you, it's so rote that it's just the noise. It's the water you're swimming in all the time, so you don't even know it's there. So you got to practice mindfulness. There's this book that I recommend to my clients. It's called 10 Mindful Minutes. It's by Goldie Hawn, of all people. And it is a book that teaches mindfulness to kids. So if you need help learning mindfulness, that's a great book. There's so many resources out there for mindfulness, it's ridiculous. Okay? I don't need to tell you where to go. You can figure that out. But you have to practice mindfulness so that you can start to slow down and notice when you're abusing yourself, or when you're, and that's all I'm asking you to do for right now. We're just going to be like, that's it. That's step one, right? Commit to this as a journey, and up your game. Just notice, start to pay attention to how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, the things that you do to yourself. I mean, I'm lactose intolerant, and I'll make myself eat a big old thing of ice cream and then suffer for it. If I wouldn't do that to my child. If I had a child that's allergic to something, would I eat this? I don't care if you have a stomachache. It's good. It tastes good. What the hell is wrong with me? Right? I mean, what's wrong with us? It's like it's bizarre. And so really paying attention. That's all I'm asking. The very first step. Embrace it as a journey and start taking baby steps. And I'm going to be here every other month all year. And we're going to keep, and I've got other steps, right? And I'm going to keep deepening this conversation, because I'm so clear that this is the access. This is the access. It starts right here in your heart. Harmony's going to come up, get you back into your heart. Right? And then we're going to do just a few more minutes of meditation, and then we're going to be out. So, thank you, Harmony.
Sorry, make some adjustments. So part of this is instruction, and you'll know, and part of it as I'm saying the words, let the words repeat in your own mind as an affirmation. Sorry, I'm used to sitting in a chair. So hold your hand to your heart. Now take a breath in your heart. Remember you are a part. Unconditional love's where it starts. And I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I am free, I am free, I am free. You are free, you are free, you are free. We are free, we are free, we are free. So hold your hand to your heart. Now take a breath in your heart. Remember you are a part. Unconditional love's where it starts. And I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I am free, you are free, we are free. I am free, I am free, you are free, we are free, we are free. I am free, you are free, we are free, we are free. I am free, you are free, we are free, we are free, we are free, we are free.
I invite you to stay in that heart space. We've already got you planted there. Your heart's open. Harmony's brought you back into that heart space. And just want to take a few more minutes just to let you be still. As your heart's open, I just want to invite you right now. You have a conversation with your inner being, your highest self, your God self. Unity often called it the Christ presence within. Don't you just hear that voice from that inner being telling you that it's time. It's time. good at this. It's painful. You're going to have to shake it off like we did in the beginning. This is a lifetime journey. It's about progress, not perfection. But most importantly, it's about you, real, loving you in a whole new way. It's going to lead to healing all of those things from your past that you wired yourself up to be safe. Loving you through it is why you came here. Hear those words, however they come to you. It's time. Whole new level. In the silence. Wiggle your toes. Back here. I hope you heard a powerful message. What I know is that you are loved beyond measure. And it is your light, not your darkness, that must frighten you. Walk in the light. And welcome back. Namaste.
Welcome back. If you could only see yourself through my eyes, you'd see the beauty of your heart and how it lights up the sky. And if I ever look and see you looking down, well, I'll be there to remind you of your true self when it's found, when you look all around. 'Cause we came to this life to learn to love ourselves. And we came to this life to help each other out. The reason we need each other is to remind us how to love. 'Cause I'm just another version of you, like angels from above. Know it can be a challenge when I look in my own eyes to see past the judgments of all my mistakes, to know how hard I try. And it's so easy when I look at you to know you did your best. If I could only put my own heart at ease and lay my mind to rest. 'Cause we came to this life to learn to love ourselves. And we came to this life to help each other out. And the reason we need each other is to remind us how to love. 'Cause I'm just another version of you, like angel from above. This is progress, not perfection. I work towards every day. These baby steps are still steps we take. I call in a little grace. I've got my team in spirit cheering me on to try and try again. And I'm beautifully blessed beyond my belief with all my amazing friends. 'Cause we came to this life to learn to love ourselves. And we came to this life to help each other out. And the reason we need each other is to remind us how to love. 'Cause I'm just another version of you, like angels from above. We came to this life to learn to love ourselves. And we came to this life, oh, to help each other out. And the reason we need each other is to remind us how to love. 'Cause I'm just another version of you, like an angel from above.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Harmony. As our ushers come forward for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts. Let's affirm together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. If you would like to use a debit or credit card, please stop by the office. Thank you. As the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing, "How Could Anyone Ever Tell You?"
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
As our ushers come forward, here is our prayer of thanks. Please listen. We are grateful and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again, and so it is. Amen. And now for our opportunities, announcements, a special welcome to our guest today. Thank you for joining us. If you would like more information about the Unity Movement and Unity of Lawrence, pick up a welcome packet in the lobby. Our 2022 annual meeting is scheduled for today, following the service. The agenda includes electing new board members, finalizing the new budget, and reviewing the past year's achievements. The 2021 annual report is ready. Pick up a copy in the lobby. See Kathy in the office if you have any questions. And just a reminder, we will begin that meeting pretty much directly after the service. As quickly as we can, because we have Chiefs to go watch. For goodness sakes, let's get our priorities straight. The lunch bunch is canceled today. Please join Robin Golf in visioning a new leadership for the Light Center. A person with Unity credentials is preferred. We know that Spirit hears this request, and the perfect people are on their way before the end of this year, and so it is. Our weekly meditation groups meets on Tuesdays at 6:30 in the sanctuary. All are welcome. Please remember your mask. Please join us next week as Reverend Sandra Campbell brings us the message, Keep the High Watch. Special music with Stephanie Bland. And now it's time to sing in our youths. All right. So again, just a reminder, after this, we're going to have our annual meeting. If you are only members can vote. However, we encourage you, whether you're a member or not, to stay and experience the process so that you can be excited and become a member and vote next year. And I'm still trying to kill time. So, a needle pulling thread, law, note to follow so. How do you become a member? Thank you, that is an excellent question. We hold a membership class, generally once or twice a year, I believe. And those will be announced, and then you can join that membership class. There are 3 classes. And after you've finished at least 2 of those classes, then you can become a member of Unity, a voting member of Unity. And if you have any more questions about that, you can grab one of the board members after the annual meeting. And it looks like we're ready for our youth. So let's sing in our youth.
You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. You are walking in the light, as the light, as the light. You are walking as the light of God. As the light, as the light, as the light. As the light, as the light, as the light, as the light of God.
And why our self-love for ourselves is so important. So the first thing we did was we all went around the room and talked about things we love about ourselves. So does anyone want to share something they loved about themselves in the room today? What did you love about yourself?
My hair.
Your hair, yes. What do you like about yourself, Emerson?
My hair.
We all love our hair.
I love that I'm creative. I love that lots of people are best friends with me.
You want to share what you love? You want to tell them about your shirt? Phoenix loved his Mother Earth shirt. So our affirmation today was, yes, you did. It's on his picture. We have the proof. So our affirmation day was, I am wonderfully made, just as I am. And we talked about how their goal in life is to become someone that they can love and make that love for themselves more important and make it priority over trying to impress the people to make people love them. So their first goal is their self-love first, and then people will love someone who shows and exuberates self-love.
Thank you, thank you. And now it is time to bless our youth. Let's rub our hands together. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because our vision is celebrating a peaceful and abundant world for all, let's all join in and sing the original peace song.